Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, PR, I was heavily thinking about taking a DD position and I didn't. And here we are now. I was being cautious yesterday. I sold a lot of positions for the FOMC meeting just to be a little bit cautious. There's always volatility, and nothing major happened yesterday. As always, not expected any major changes from the Fed, but still, there's always volatility. There's always something there that, there is some sell off or dip buying opportunities. I didn't do much. I just held cash. I regret it heavily. I also, I like Wish right now. Pre market, it looks strong. And I had a big position on Wish. I still have a position on Wish, but I also regret selling this one off early yesterday. I'm also looking into Facebook dip buying here. I played Apple yesterday pretty well. I made a 40% trade. It was an extremely small trade, so worked out pretty well. And I'm looking to do one on Facebook today. Earnings were right. Surprise! It beat expectations by almost 20%. Selling off here, and Facebook did get a analyst upgrade today from Raymond James. So a price target of 450. So I am looking into maybe buying a dip here. Nothing big. Just a little tester, and if it goes lower, I'll add into it. Totally was contemplating on DD here. Um, we were talking about it. Phenomenal price there. Um, I did talk about it at the IPO and around this area. I was wrong. Went one cycle lower, and this looked extremely attractive to me. And I didn't pull any triggers. I didn't pull any triggers yesterday. And now paying the price. But good thing is I'm holding a lot of cash. I'm holding about 80% cash on my account right now, and I'll be able to do some plays. And I'm not gonna go guns blazing today, but just putting the positions here and there if I see opportunities. So today news, Robinhood IPO today. So we're gonna see Robinhood trading today hit the markets. Going to believe shares will be IPOing at $30 per share. So pretty big IPO. I'm gonna stay away from it for the opening. But I'll just throw it on my watch list, and if the time is right at any given time in the future, then I will definitely buy it. I do like Robinhood. I obviously use it. I do like their platform, and it works well for my needs. So I'm not gonna do much on it just yet. Another one that I look at, similar to Didi, was Donut Krispy Kremes. We saw some insider buying, but I'm kind of just gonna stay away. I'm gonna probably focus today on Wish and Facebook. Wish looks strong. Don't think I'm gonna add to it. Um, we're gonna see. I'll see how level two comes out, but level two looks very strong right now. Pre-market, we're 3 minutes away for the market open, and we'll see how that works out, how that opens. Let's take a look at Facebook. Facebook also looks good here. Not as good as Wish, but does look good. Like good support there from the buy side. So potential plays here. I really don't know what to do with this Wish. Um, I tapered off yesterday, and I feel very stupid buying into it at these prices right now. So um, just gonna hold off. Just gonna hold off and wait. Oh, let's take a look at Tesla. We're pretty much flat here out of Tesla. Let's see here. Tesla, we are seeing a little bit of the selling pressure. So level two not looking so good. pre-market. Once the market opens, this obviously changes. So that's what I'm also waiting on Wish as well. Wish level 2 looks good pre-market, but as soon as the market opens, this obviously changes immediately. So I need to give it some time to see how things work out here. Potentially sell off here for Facebook around 355, 350, 250. Hopefully I can get something good there, and just gonna take a little swing trade, nothing big, but I am liking this. I do hope it sells off a little bit further down. Maybe at the open I'll buy one contract, and then if it goes further I'll add into it. Nothing big. Let's see here. Okay, so we're open here. Facebook. Let me see here. Oh man, that got bought up really quick. That could be a little fake out. It could still sell off. Okay, I put a little starter position. Okay, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to Facebook. Let's take a look at Wish. Let's see what it's doing here, level 2. Okay, so now level 2 is balancing out. We are seeing here 930, some support at 930. It's at 988. So it did get hammered here from the 10 dollar price target. Let's look at the NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures here somewhat sideways. No clear direction. S&P 500 staggering higher. And we also have the Dow Jones and Russell 2000. So we're going to see some small cap action here. Very nice. Okay, so it's looking like a bullish opening here. Oh, okay. You got in an AIEI. Let's take a look at that. AEI. Oh, it's going to be one of your other golden trades, huh? Infinity Pharmaceuticals here now at 225. If this sells off a little bit more, I'll probably add into it so far. Looks like it wants to move here. We have support here on Wish at 930. Although we are seeing here Wish selling off, volatility on the contracts are high. I'm not seeing much of a change here on my contracts for now. We see support here at the 930 level there for Wish. Good morning, EWG. So far, I'm just taking a stab here on this Facebook dip. So far it's working out. Small position, nothing exciting. Wish looked pretty strong. Apple once again at this level looking pretty decent. We are seeing the major indices higher. NASDAQ a little bit behind, but AMC sideways here at 37.38. I was going to say 37.97, 38. Lucid Motors below 25 now. So we're at 24.13 there for Lucid Motors. I might take a swing here at Lucid Motors if it goes lower, closer to 20. And now I'm just looking at the major large cap tech companies because it seems like that's where the money is at. I also have some smaller cap. Right now I have two positions, a small cap and a large cap company. Didi was a nice play. We were talking about it yesterday. A little late now. Low floats that I know about. Let me see here. Let me look some up here. I'm seeing VXTR. Let's see if that's something. I'm sorry, VXRT. So we have VXRT here. 1 billion market cap there. We're seeing higher than average volume. That could be a potential there. VXRT. And we also have APPS there. This is a little bit bigger company. This one's trending. Also, this is a bigger company, but also seeing some action. So far, best of the action there on the smaller cap is VXRT. Getting a little push higher here for VXRT. Depth chart looks very odd here. We see some resistance at the 950. We see the buy side pretty flat, but although we see the buy side pretty flat, it's still pushing higher there. So sometimes this could be a tricky read there. Oh, Helion. Yeah, I saw someone message me. I think it was XL Fleet. I think someone had messaged me on YouTube about XL Fleet, and I think he also brought it up yesterday. I mean, the pattern here on the chart here for these SPACs, they're turning here. So we have a potential for a cycle higher. Targets for Helion at 12 in the short term. Oh, you put Helion on Discord. Yeah, I was on YouTube. Someone had wrote to me about XL Fleet. And I think EWG also mentioned it. Oh yeah, the Trevor Milton news there on Nikola. He's being prosecuted. Nvidia pushing higher. We see some resistance at 200, and Nvidia trying to push higher here. So now Facebook is cooling off and it's selling down. Facebook could potentially come down here to around the 352 price target. We might see a little run up here out of Nvidia towards 200. Wish looked pretty strong at the open, but now here hanging in there at 984. Still up there, still some potential. We have support here at 930. We are seeing a nice level 2 here out of Facebook. We are seeing a KGC here, gold. Kinross, a gold corporation. Kinross is up right now, 5%. Don't know if this is some sort of warning sign there. But we are seeing this is a stock I used to trade a lot. Gold, obviously a very difficult play. This is one the Fed doesn't like to, likes to hammer down pretty heavily. They do not like gold being up. It's bad for our currency, so gold is always tricky to play. So we are seeing here KGC. Don't know if this is a warning shot here or the beginning of something. We are seeing gold rising here. We're seeing a move out of gold. Gold barracks also up. This is a gold penny stock, MUX. So we're seeing gold come up today. Interesting out of gold. Newmont. NEM. There you go. This is another gold stock. NEM. Let's look at silver. Silver also slightly up. It could be the beginning of something. So we're seeing metals up today. Precious metals. Also steel slightly up. So we're seeing here copper as well, FCX. We're seeing precious metals and metals up today. So that's popping up today. Not sure if there's going to be a follow through. They're at very attractive levels. Interesting. Interesting to see this. They're very difficult to play, so I'm not going to take my chances, but something to keep an eye out for. Apple, nice move out of Apple there. I was looking at Apple. I took my shot here with Facebook. Another great day for Apple there for buying the dip. 2 days in a row. Nice move out of Apple. Very nice move. Another great opportunity. Workhorse. Let's take a look at Workhorse. AMD, are we having a follow through here? AMD. AMD breaking 100. AMD, what a savage. Lisa Su was on yesterday on CNBC. Wow. Awesome run there out of AMD. What a fantastic move there. 10-point move in 2 days. I had it on while Lisa Su was on yesterday. And they're talking about their market share. And it was actually down. And I saw it towards the end of the day, and I was like, "What a massive move there!" Newegg, so we're getting some action today. Okay, there's action today. Newegg up 13%, a $2 move there out of Newegg. SGOC SGOC. Here we go. These are some of the names. SGOC up 34%, almost $3 there. Okay. How about Wendy's here? Wendy's had a little run a few days ago. A little pop there. Oops. Let's take a look at Corsair. No. Nokia. Nokia there, popping up. 619. We're seeing some of these meme stocks pop up here. You think BlackBerry. Yeah, let's take a look at BlackBerry. It did have a little pop there. We are seeing some money coming in here, guys. A little bit. A little light there. SoFi there. SoFi up there. 69 cents. Looks like a nice move there. A little gap up. So we have the S&P 500 ramping up to all-time highs along with the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, Russell 2000. We're seeing money. We're getting the VIX hammered down and we're getting money here. Markets are bullish for the day. Decent start there. Facebook here. Might buy the dip move there. Not really working out for now. About a month out. If it goes lower, I'll add one more time to it. Nvidia here at 197.85. So which continues to sell off. It did look like a strong open. Potentially could come down to 930. It's at 966. Intel is one that was bullish when they released news back here about their expansion and their facilities, spending big money on R&D, and AMD is clearly taking market share off of Intel. I do like it at these levels. I just think it's going to be a long-term play, so it might be a little tough. For a trade, could be a little tough. This looks like it's gonna be a long hold there. Actually, let's do something here. This is something I did actually recently. I like to see the opportunity here. Give me 1 second. So this is a 1 year chart there. Intel being blue and yellow being AMD. So we can see a comparison for the past year there. Intel and AMD. And clearly you see some crossovers there. when one is leading the other. And clearly Intel was the boss here for the beginning of the year. And we're having a shift now in momentum where AMD looks like the better buy here. So AMD currently for as a trade, as an investment, Intel longer term. As a trade, AMD looks like it's crossing over here and getting some momentum to the upside. Neo, second day up. Let's take a look at Neo. That was a big whiplash there out of the Chinese sell-off. I did tweet this last night. So I'm not shorting Chinese stocks for now. Let me open this up. So we're having better days out of the Asian markets. We had China up 1.49% and Hang Seng here, nice update, 3.17%. So that was an indication today that Chinese stocks might go higher, but they're holding nicely. This could be a dead cat bounce, and we can see them go lower tomorrow or going into next week. It's just difficult to say. So Lucid now at 23.81. So now we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off. Here we go. So Facebook price target here around 355-ish. And then could go lower here, 346-ish. Lucid breaking, yes. It's cooling off now. Guys, if you guys could hit the thumbs up button, that will help out. Just spread the word, spreading the picks for the day. Yeah, I want it closer to 20 as well. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. If we get anywhere near these lower levels here, I'm going to start pulling some triggers heavily. Closer to the... I did sell it off somewhere around here. Waiting for a pullback, and I never got it. So I'm still waiting for that. Microvast, wow, continues to sell off. A momentum stock there that is extremely volatile, and it's difficult to see it at these levels. Makes me believe we're going to see a gap up and a run possibly there. I like those names, EWG. Palantir, one that I definitely have in my long-term portfolio. I also like ChargePoint. At a good level there. And love being a good airline company there. EVGO looks interesting to me just because I've seen it around some of the cities out here in LA and the local cities. I've seen quite a few of their charging stations around, and more in the residential areas. So I don't know if this is a good play. Well, speaking of charging, there were some catalysts there for SMPR, Volta charging. Not moving. Let me see what the news was. I saw it last night. This is one that I was trading a lot. Volta Charging announces new station installation in New Jersey. There was something else I must have read. Let's see those precious metal stocks. Oh, Vlad is on.
To you?
I mean, it's a very special moment for me and for my co-founder. We came here as immigrants to this country. You know, I came at JFK Airport right here in New York. And then 30 years later, less than 30 years later, we're here and starting from nothing, created this company that serves over 22 million customers.
So lots of questions about this offering, and in particular, I mentioned the retail investor. What's so unique about this offering is how much presence of retail investors there is going to be in this stock now. How do you think about that, and do you know how much has been allocated to the retail versus institutions?
Oh, it's certainly going to be one of the largest retail allocations ever, and I think when you hear the mission of Robinhood to democratize finance for all, it's really about giving access to everyone what was once reserved for the 1% or the very wealthy. So it makes a lot of sense, very consistent with how we've always operated. So we're proud to have one of the largest retail allocations.
Do you know the number though? Because I know it was going to be somewhere between 20% and 35%. We've been hearing it's somewhere in that range. But can you pin it down for us?
I can't unfortunately share the exact allocation details, other than to say we're very proud to give our customers access.
How will it change the way you think that you'll run the company and communicate with the investor base? And the reason I ask is the retail investor base is a very different type of investor base. We've seen, for example, that the retail investor base, at least over the past couple of weeks when it came to the Lucid SPAC, for example, they don't vote. It's harder to reach them. AMC has now had some issues in terms of getting the vote from shareholders on certain issues.
Yeah, I think it's certainly something we're interested in. You probably saw that we did a customer roadshow last weekend, and we're going to try new things. We think that it's important not just for retail investors to participate, but for there to be dialogue between retail investors and the companies that they're invested in. So it's definitely something that you'll see us engaging with, and I think the customer roadshow was one example of new things we can do.
You talked about democratizing investing, and that you have very much done, but it's also come with this question about payment for order flow and whether the customer is not the customer, whether the Robinhood customer is really not the one that's paying for all of this, but it is the quote-unquote establishment, right? It's the Citadels of the world, it's the Virtus of the world that are actually paying 75% of the revenues that the company gets. What do you say about that, and how do you explain it?
Yeah, it doesn't resonate with me. This business model that we've helped pioneer, which is now the standard business model for retail brokerage in the U.S., has allowed so many more people to participate and has led to an aggregate, lots more money being put into customers' pockets rather than corporate profits. So we're proud to have passed back more value to customers, and we'll continue to keep doing that. I think eliminating commissions was really just the start.
What do you think the risk, though, long-term is to the business model of payment for order flow, given how much of how big a percentage of your revenue it represents?
Well, I do think we're going to have to keep a dialogue with the public, with the media about what payment for order flow is. I think you've probably seen me over the past couple of months engaging more openly in the topic. And the truth is, I think it could be better explained, and we could continue to do that. And I think we'll continue defending it as something that has led to a much greater diverse set of people participating in the markets. And I think from a business level, you'll see Robinhood continue to diversify its business lines and its revenue over time. I mean, in particular, just in the past couple of quarters, even within transaction-based revenue, you've seen cryptocurrency take a larger share.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, which is that a huge part of the business became Dogecoin in the quarter prior, and whether you believe that that's sustainable, what that ultimately means to the business when we have these sort of meme moments.
I mean, my philosophy, the philosophy of Robinhood, is to make it as easy as possible to participate. And on the brokerage side, the goal is really how do you take first-time investors and turn them into long-term investors? And you've seen that through a lot of the products that we've rolled out recently, fractional shares, DRIP, recurring investments. We're seeing a lot of really exciting engagement with those, and we're going to continue making them better and better. So, of course, there's going to be idiosyncratic moments where something becomes more culturally relevant, like a particular cryptocurrency or a particular stock. And of course, we have to be available for our customers.
But speak to this, because it's the thing that I think feels at odds. On the business model does rely on, to some degree, volatility, trading, options, crypto on that side. And on the other side, I know that the company is spending an inordinate amount of time trying to both educate investors and trying to push the idea that these are long-term investors. But the longer-term investor is not going to be as profitable investor.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're optimizing for happy customers, and we're optimizing for the long term. So making first-time investors into long-term investors and giving people more selection and diversifying the product suite based on what customers tell us. They tell us they want help spending, saving money. We want to offer all of those things. So I think over the long run, if we focus on happy customers and they use our products, we'll have diversified revenue, and it'll be fundamentally very, very good for the business.
What's the chance that Robinhood itself becomes a meme stock? Have you thought about that?
That's very self-referential. No, I haven't thought about it much.
But in terms, and this goes to the communication issue, though. I mean, you occasionally see Ryan Cohen when it comes to GameStop, he'll put out a tweet. I don't know if it's intentional or not. I think it probably isn't, but he'll put, a picture of an ice cream cone, and all of a sudden there's folks on Reddit who think, are trying to divine meaning into that. And so how you think about, again, this goes to how you communicate and what you say and whether you think that actually, literally a tweet can move the stock.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting with what we've seen in retail investing over the past year is that a lot of these companies have been hit hard by the pandemic, right? And you see it started with some of the airlines and then followed with some of the retailers, some movie chains and brick and mortar.
Right.
And you have the institutions that are basically writing these companies off, and then retail investors coming in and keeping them up and supporting them.
But does that make sense to you when you look at an AMC stock, for example, or any of these others that have moved in this way? Do you say this is healthy for the markets? Do you say this is unhealthy for the markets?
Well, I probably shouldn't comment on my own views
but you might,
on
but I assume you must have
stocks.
views about whether but it's a phenomenon, and it's a phenomenon impacted in large part by your own users. And so I'm curious sort of how you personally think about it.
I think it's a real thing. I mean, customers.
Right.
There's customers that love these companies. They want them to thrive, and you're seeing them also get resources that allow them to hire really good management teams in some cases, and then build for the future. So I think it's very interesting. I don't know if people have understood the ramifications of what high retail participation in the markets means, but I think fundamentally it's a very good thing, and we're excited to be a part of it.
My good friend Jim Cramer has got a question down from the New York Stock Exchange. Jim?
All right. Hi, Jim.
Certainly. Hey, Vlad, how are you? Congratulations on a great day for you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, same. And I know that we had you on at the very beginning when I was in California, and I always felt that you were about democratization. I am concerned when I saw the actual documents. A huge number of people are options trader. I was an options trader when I was at Goldman Sachs, but there's a lot of possibility of losing money in options. Do you think that many of your options traders actually take delivery of common stock? Is it an onboard way, or are they just really given to options and don't want to own common stock?
Well, let me tell you this, Jim. So Robinhood, our top value is safety first. And so all of the work that we've been doing on the options platform is to make sure that it's clear to customers what they're buying. And we've made a lot of great work around the edge cases of what options trading is, because it is complicated. It's for more advanced customers. We've been investing a whole lot in education, but I think fundamentally there's customers that are very interested in it for a variety of different use cases, and it is a powerful tool that's been reserved for wealthier, more sophisticated investors up until recently, and we're proud to drive that accessibility to a broader audience.
Vlad, it's Morgan. Congratulations today. I asked this question knowing hindsight is 2020, but if you could go back to January, would you have done things differently?
I would say it's there's always things we could have done better, and I'm the first to say that. But it's been an amazing 6 months, and it really 18 months and much more than that. If you had asked me 6 years ago, would I have thought that in 6 years we would have over 22 million customers, over 100 billion in assets under custody as of Q2? I think what we've delivered for customers and the size of the business, I don't think I would have been able to guess that.
Vlad, when I look at what the 22 million are about, I want to know whether they trade every day. Sometimes we see these stocks, and they're like 20 million shares outstanding, and they trade 150 million. I mean, do you have people who are just glued to the app? And will they stay glued to the app when we get the unemployment benefits lower, when more jobs come back? I'm trying to get the just kind of like who your people are, because I want them in today and not flipping the stock.
Our customers do a variety of things. I mean, most people aren't trading every single day. They're looking at their watch lists, they're reading the news, they're looking at their portfolios, and in some cases making adjustments. But we keep adding more and more content that educates customers, that keeps them informed, and we'll continue to do that, as well as adding more products that they can use through Robinhood.
Vlad, it's David Faber. Final question from us here at the NYSE. You know, Morgan had asked you about that January period. I mean, what did you take away from that? You know, you're a technology company, but you're a financial technology company. And when those peak margin calls were coming in with big volume, you know, what did you learn about being the financial part of a technology company and all the regulations and all the things that come along with that? And how are you going to apply it now?
Oh, I think in those short few weeks around end of January, early February, we certainly learned a lot. We got a whole lot of work done, strengthening everything across the board, not just the balance sheet, but customer support. We made it a lot easier for customers that want to come back to the service. We had a lot of those at the time to actually come back. And we've seen a lot of increases in activity through Q1 and Q2. It wasn't just January, but April and May. And I think it's been a better and better experience for our customers every time.
Were you surprised by that? Because, you know, a lot of times when a business has a major challenge, a customer-facing business has a challenge, the customer walks. And in your case, they didn't walk. They actually kept, you know, even more came on. How did you think about that?
Well, at the time, we were just making sure that we were focused on the basics. Like, how can we make sure our service is reliable and robust and stable through all of the load that we were seeing, which was unprecedented at the time? How can we make sure customer support is working? And how do we get better every single day? And I think it speaks to how much customers love the product fundamentally. They're continuing to refer their friends. 80+% of our new growth is organic and word of mouth. And we think we've just scratched the surface on that. I think there's a lot more that we could do to serve people.
Long term, how much of the business do you think is crypto? And the reason I ask is we interviewed Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, yesterday, and she talked about crypto in the context of snake oil, and in the context of what she said were snake oil salesmen, and she said this is a sector that needs to be regulated. And so what do you think is going to come down the pike when it comes to regulation of crypto and how it might affect you?
I think, you know, we're going to be a participant. It's clear that our customers are interested in this asset class, and I think it's becoming a more and more widely accepted asset class. You're seeing institutions taking a bigger role. It's global by nature, which I think presents an interesting opportunity for Robinhood because it's a accelerant potentially for international expansion into certain markets. So of course we're going to have to continue constructive dialogue, and people are trying to figure out what the regulatory framework is going to be, and we welcome that.
What do you think is the defensive moat around Robinhood?
I think there's a lot. I think the brand Robinhood really stands for this next generation of consumers, and I don't think other incumbent brokers can own the message of being for the next generation and democratizing as much as we can. And I think that resonates with more and more people. I mean, it's a message that has kind of snowballed, especially in the past 10 years. Of course, it's more than the brand. I think we've delivered the goods. When we say we're democratizing access to finance, it's not just, you know, a slogan for us, but you can see that through all of our products, like the stock trading business, crypto, options, our debit card and savings products, and more recently IPO access, which allows customers to participate
on IPOs.
Yeah.
So given this IPO, what is success for you? When you talked to the bankers at Goldman Sachs yesterday and you were trying to set the price, you know, it did start, or was at the lower end of the range at $38. Did you say to yourself, I want a 10%, if we can get a 10% pop on day one, that's great. 20%, I don't want it to go down. Tell us the way you thought about it.
The way that we like to run the business, it goes back to our top value, safety first. We generally like to be conservative, and I know that there's a lot of misconceptions around Robinhood and how we operate, but we like to be conservative, and what we wanted to make sure is that everyone is set up for long-term success. I mean, ultimately, it's it's great to be here in Times Square, but it is a moment in time, and you're going to find that Jason, our CFO, and I aren't going to be commenting too much on day-to-day price fluctuations and what we want to see. We want to be a long-term business that adds more and more value to customers, and these short-term fluctuations over the long run just wash out. Right. And we'd like to be a heavy company, in the words of Benjamin Graham.
And how much influence do you think your shareholders should have on the company? I ask because of the control nature of the way you structured the governance.
I think we'd obviously like to hear from our shareholders. We're going to respect all of them, retail and institutional, and maintain really healthy dialogue. I think that you mentioned the share structure.
Right.
We think the reason that that's become more important and more prevalent is because, to run a short-term business, it's good to avoid short-term distractions. To run a long-term business, it's important to avoid those types of distractions. And we think this positions us well to be a long-term focused company that takes big bets and continues to challenge the status quo.
And finally, when investors today think about your company, should they think about you as a competitor, if you will, when they're thinking about the comps, the comparables, to the Coinbases of the world, to certain banks, to a brokerage firm? What do you think the fair comp is?
I don't know if I'm the best person to tell investors what our comps are. What I'm focused on is customers. I think it's a technology company that's that's obviously in financial services. I think it's a unique company. There's not a lot of companies with our growth profile and our product set in financial services. So it's certainly a unique opportunity and a unique business that we're building.
5 years from now, what does this company look like?
5 years from now, we want Robinhood to be the most trusted and most culturally relevant money app worldwide. So not just investing, we're already going beyond investing, and not just in the US as well.
We wish you a lot of luck with it. Congratulations on a milestone day for you, and we hope to see you again very, very soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good to be here with you.
Good to see you in person, no less, after all this time. Carl, back to you.
Andrew Ross Sorkin, thank you very much. With Vlad Tenev, again, Robinhood pricing at 38, indicated now to open at 41. Jim, a lot in there.
That's great.
And that line about we like to be conservative pertained exactly to pricing.
Yes, I think Vlad Tenev has changed rather. He's metamorphosed. The metamorphosis of Vlad Tenev since even those congressional hearings is rather amazing. Emphasizing safety. That's what you have to do. Talking about education, trying to get people to understand the broader portfolio of what they have as a product. All great. I just wanted to be sure that given an options-based investor and given the amount of trading that happens, and I'm glad he assuaged us in that, but I feared that there'd be flippers. I think David, I felt personally that what he said is there really are, sure, there are a lot of options guys fast going, but there are a lot of people who seem to be embedded in the stock market who weren't before, and that would be very positive for our country and our business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can, if you keep them fully engaged over a longer period of time, as you've talked about so often. And as for the performance of this stock, we'll see. Right now, I guess it's looking fairly strong. I'm not sure, but I think there's some early indications that I've seen.
I think Vlad Tenev had a lot to do with more to do than anybody else that I've known who worked with Goldman to get a deal priced right. And I think that that's terrific. He's pro-customer, my friend.
Right, although earlier you were saying maybe they should have priced it at 25.
Well, I wanted to be sure that I feared flippers. It doesn't appear to have that many flippers.
Yeah, listen, we'll see. We'll see how it performs, but they did manage to allocate.
You make a determination now. Coinbase was looking 400. I was telling people not to pay 400.
I know.
And then the meme people said, oh, Kramer says pay 399. No.
The question about the moat, the competitive moat.
Right.
He didn't say technology, algorithms. He said brand. Is that sticky enough?
I think that's right. I think that the people who are in the market are people who got in because of Robinhood. There's a tremendous number of surveys which show that they're loyal to Robinhood. And the great point that Andrew meant, which is that even after the so-called fiasco of the last week of January, first week of February, more people came in. I was watching the number of people, looking at the app store and seeing that even more people came in. And Morgan, one of the things that's incredible is that these are people who truly believe that it is a revolution, and they're part of it, and it's a positive revolution.
It's very positive. I mean, it potentially represents what we're seeing happening in real time right now. Represents a fundamental shift, right? And I mean, you can talk about what's happened in the meme stop specifically in this idea of what I've called crowdsourced activist investing that we've seen since the beginning of the year as well. But to your point, the fact that you see more people engaged. I mean, we can talk about income inequality and the fact that assets and the increase in value we've seen in assets over not just the last year, but the last decade, and what that's done to that divide in this country, to see more people, that democratization, more people getting invested and being able to benefit from that process. That's only a good thing for the middle class. You can make that argument. That being said, in terms of this specifically, payment for order flow, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. He was pressed on it, a little bit in this conversation that we all just had. But, what he said about we're going to have to keep up a dialogue with the media about what payment for order flow is and that it could be better explained. But it's not the media that's the risk around payment for order flow. It's Gensler.
But you raised so many good points. In particular, I think this notion of this whole new people, middle class, younger people, our business was dying. It became a business for dinosaurs. And then,
you mean financial services?
Yes. Well, because they decided that they just wanted index funds. Now they do index funds here, but they pick stocks, and they care about stocks. Now, David, don't look askance at me, because it's absolutely true.
No, I know.
Oh, you just think they look at AMC and GameStop?
No, I don't.
They love stocks.
And crypto.
They love crypto.
And crypto.
They're inventive. What Morgan just said. Think about what Morgan just said. This is a crowdsourced attempt to be able to make money. And that was lost. I remember when Dick Grasso ran this place, and he was trying to talk about how people should own a piece of America. Boy, we ever forget that. Warren Buffett said that's a mistake. You want to own just the S&P. This man's not that. I like that.
I'm really curious to see what that allocation ends up being to retail investors. And he didn't actually answer that question.
No.
And we've been hearing that potential. It's potentially the lower end of that 20 to 35% range, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And of course, what kind of pop potentially we get in this
very exciting
game today and beyond.
Exciting. Well, meme and beyond.
And beyond.
It's very meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jim, how about tonight?
I'm in the metaverse. Okay, I've got one of the largest agriculture companies has been red hot, Agco. Dexcom, with glucose monitor. We got to find about they're competing against Abbott.
Interesting interview. Interesting, pretty cool. Vlad obviously been under the fire several times. I feel that he's very well spoken. He knows how to address the heavy questions. Obviously being under the radar all the time. He dodges a few, but he addresses them well. I mean, what else can you say? So Robinhood IPOing, that is the highlight of the day. And now we're seeing the markets slowing down. We're not really seeing any clear direction. We had a nice open there, a little bullish run. Oh, what I was putting, we are seeing the Russell 2000 going up, so this is good for small caps. I did see SXC, Suncoke Energy, ramping up here. So we're having a little bit of the energy and precious metal stocks here being the winners for the day. Look at that. KGC continues to rally. That could be a warning sign. If you see gold go up, could be a warning sign for the market. I haven't seen gold do something like this in a while. Copper here, FCX. We saw Wish looking pretty decent right out of the open. It did slightly sell off, but it looks like volume here, momentum is dying here. That was just a little pop from the market. First 30 minutes were pretty good. And now we just flat. AMD was exploding. 101 on AMD there. Big move there out of AMD. $11 move. AMC holding at 39. DD here selling off, now down to 929. Total head shake there. Now we're seeing the depth chart here on Wish. Pretty even. Nothing exciting. I'm pretty much holding here. Just hanging out here. No major moves. I bought this Facebook dip here. That's about it. Small position. I don't see anything that I'm crazy about right now. I think Wish is gonna have a nice day pretty soon. BT. Oh, Bit Digital. Nice. Bit Digital here. Wow. Who nailed that bottom? That would have been extremely difficult to nail. This is crypto mining, right? If I'm not mistaken. Vin, yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Lucid here. Let's see what's going on here with Lucid. Wow, we have a sell-off. It went all the way to 23.50. I do think it goes back down to around 20. But if you're trading it intraday, let's see. Things slow down right now. There's no, it's pretty balanced here. Things just really slow down right now. There's no, we see support at 23.50, 23. And on the upside, we have some resistance around 25. Things are very slow right now. I think I'm waiting for this to pull back. I don't know if it will, but I want to see it below 20. If it goes below 20, I'll definitely be pulling some triggers and buying in heavily. Doesn't mean it's going to go back down there though. I've been waiting to pull back since back here. But you do see here after that big run up, and then we got crushed. You do see the momentum shifting, and this consolidation is really good. This is positive. This is might take a while, but once this guy goes, it's gonna be a monster. It's gonna be a complete beast. Just have to have patience there. I think it's gonna start running. Another thing too, once they change the name to LCID, and that's true to all the SPACs, there's always a period of the lockup period for the warrants, so that dilutes the stock for briefly for some time. And I think we're gonna see the real run here once they get closer to delivering cars. Huge cup and handle, potentially. I just look more of like support and resistance. Could be, yeah, I can see that. But there's no real telling. So if you're playing short-term options, it's tough. For today, probably going to trade between 23 and 25. As of now, things are just slow right now. It can change. Momentum can pick up towards the middle, end of the day. And Wish back up here to $10. I'll be right back, guys. Oh man, I had a pretty huge position on Wish that I trimmed yesterday. I would have probably been up 2,000 today. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Oh man, if it wasn't for FOMC, I wouldn't have trimmed. I was just trying to be cautious. We're seeing some options activity there on Zoom. We're seeing some bullish activity there on Zoom options. God damn it, look at this Wish. Damn it. Oh, it looks like it's pulling back already from its bullish activity. Yeah, a little late there. Damn it. What a tough pill to swallow right now. Scare money doesn't make money, that's for sure. You have long-term calls. You're doing a lot better. Yes. Yeah, most of my positions are pretty long-term. Every now and then I'll buy a monthly. Like the Facebook trade today, I did a monthly, but it's not a big position compared to my portfolio. It's a small speculative position. We're seeing big volume there coming into Wish. In the last 5 minutes, 972,000 shares traded there, almost 1 million shares. So slowly coming in here, buying up Wish. This thing is just staggering slowly higher and higher. Level 2 looked good pre-market, and then it sold off slightly, and now we're back up. Wow, is this gonna go higher throughout the whole day? Don't tell me it's gonna be like a slow, staggering uptrend. Nothing to do right now but just watch. Look at this. Wow. 1020. It's just gonna go up slowly but surely. No crazy activity here, just a slow uptrend there for Wish. Look at this. Wow. Really hating myself right now. S&P 500 here, all-time highs. NASDAQ looked like it hit all-time highs but came back down. And Russell 2000 going. And VIX getting hammered heavily here. We're back to bull mode just like that. Flip of a switch. Unbelievable. Shopify, interesting point here. Unbelievable. I feel real dumb here. Volume coming in here off for Wish. 689,000 shares traded, 561,000 shares traded, 972,000 shares traded. Positive momentum there. We have support at the $10 mark. Yeah, I'm sure markets are going to pick up later. Wish here just slowly staggering. We had a little sell-off at the open and just slowly staggering higher. We have support here at the $10 mark. Sulfide here with a little pop. Tattoo shift, also a little pop there. Pay safe here, almost at $11. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna call the stream here. Thank you for coming. I'm a little upset today. I had a pretty massive position here on Wish. It's running. I still have some. I tried to play it safe yesterday, cutting back, and it's just a tough market. I mean, it's a tough market. It's not a big deal, but somehow this is something that I had planned for, but I was trying to be cautious there. So we'll see how this works out. We had a nice opening in the markets, and we kind of pulled back a little bit, took a breather. Things are feeling a little slow, but things might pick up towards the end of the day. We do have the Robinhood IPO, so something to look forward to. I'm not going to do much with the Robinhood IPO. I'm just going to look at it. Wow. I don't know how this bothers me more than losing like 10, 20,000. Okay. So I'll be back on tomorrow morning, and we'll see how the day ends here, and we're going to see if things pick up here towards the end of the day. Markets once again look like they want to push higher to all-time highs here. S&P 500, look at S&P 500 here. It's all-time highs. NASDAQ looks like it's on its way. We have the Dow Jones here, also all-time highs, and we even have the Russell 2000 following behind. So a lot of stuff going on here. VIX getting hammered here, getting choked. Chinese markets are looking back to normal. So just like that flip of a switch, things are coming back, and just things. As soon as this VIX comes back down to around, under 17, I start getting worried, because that could give another signal to go higher, and then market sell off. But once again, guys, thank you very much for coming out here and joining me. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Check out my Discord under the link in the description below. A lot of information on the Discord going around, and I will be back tomorrow for Friday's close, and let's see how the week ends. Thank you guys for coming out here, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.